In this video, I'm playing Backgammon versus the Bot with Dan Rovira. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below and what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. My book, Backgammon, Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is in the description. In this video, again, we're playing Backgammon versus the Bot with my good friend Dan Rovira. Thank you for joining me and welcome.
Hi, Alex.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Good to be here.
Okay, it's a pleasure to have you. And you're joining us from the UK. I can't remember specifically which city you're in.
In Worthing, just about 30 minutes on Brighton on the south coast.
Okay, very good. We're happy to have you. And I don't know if I ever told you, but you were probably one of the main inspirations for me to have my own YouTube channel. So thank you for that. And I see that you're working on some videos again.
Yeah, that's right. I put some videos up on Backgammon is Beautiful just over Christmas and New Year. I went to a tournament in London. A few people asked me if I was creating new content, so I thought, well, I've got a bit of time off from school
Yeah.
holiday, and I created some things.
It is time consuming. So congratulations on that. And I'm going to put a link to your YouTube channel in the description. And you also give lessons. I'll put your email address. Is that the best way to contact you?
Yeah, that's right. I can
Okay,
I can put that on. Yeah.
very good. So I'll go ahead and share this. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yep, I can see that. That's all
Okay,
good.
so very good. This is going to be a three-point match. This is a skin made by Rain. He makes beautiful skins. This is a Gammoner board. I selected this one because it's similar to the one that I believe you have, right? You have something similar in color.
That's right. Those are the colors on my Gamma board, actually. Yeah,
On yours, the surface is black and the points are green and white, right?
that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's beautiful. It's nice to play on these boards, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah,
Okay,
really.
so I'll put a link to Rain's YouTube where you can get those skins. Three-point match, you can consult with me, and then afterwards we'll go through the analysis. So opening 5-2.
Okay, so I just make the standard play, split the back checkers, and bring one down. You have the
Right,
option, of course, of playing two down.
right.
Yep, that's fine.
6-2. Okay. Now I'll just go ahead and roll when it's obvious, but if you want to pause, just let me know.
Hmm.
So now 6-5.
Okay, so I'm just going to run 24 to 13. Safety of that checker.
Right. Okay. Now you want to roll, I assume.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. 6-3.
So up in a race, so let's take our last guy out to the midpoint.
Right.
Leaves leaves a bit of an inflexible position, but at least I've got no blots. Yeah,
Right. I know one of the things, if you have one checker back, it becomes a priority to escape that last checker. And once you do, you have a pretty good advantage.
yeah, that's right. I mean, here, however, I have a lot of
Yeah.
my even numbers I require, don't I, to make the points, give myself some more landing
Right,
spaces.
right. Okay. So 6-4. White is going to stay back. And it's not quite a double yet, right?
Not quite,
Okay.
no.
2-1.
Okay, so 2-1. So 13 to 11. Here, I have the option of playing 6 to 5 to unstack the 6 point and try and contain the last checker. This is usually correct as a reply to the opening 6-5. But here, I don't really want to take the risk, so I think I'm just going to play 13 to 10 and just leave in direct shots.
Yeah. The difference between this and the opening position is you don't have two checkers back, and white has the bar point already.
That's right. Yeah, I
So
don't want to
good.
get stuck with a race on
Okay.
it.
Double two, preparing his board. Roll
Okay.
5-3. Okay, so you have options here.
Yeah, so if you can make the 5 point, I usually try to talk myself out of not making it and look at other candidates' plays. Of course, here I could make instead the 3 point and unstack, but then I still leave an indirect shot against White's superior home board. And I can bring two down from the mid, but no, these are all inferior to the making of 5 points. So let's just go with that.
Very good.
I think it's always good to look at candidates' plays, and then you can rule out the weaker plays in favour of the stronger play. But it's a good process just to have in general over the board.
I feel like you do that in a lot of the videos, and it's very educational.
Yeah, as do you, and it's something I try to do when I play live as well, just to take a moment, just to look at those, and it stops you also missing plays as well that you might play too hastily and miss something obvious. We're not by a cube yet, so keep rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, so 13 to 5.
Yep. So now White runs.
Yeah, only 2 pips up in the race. Not really any market losers, maybe double 4 followed by a dance, double 6, double 5 to have a good race lead.
Maybe double 2.
Sure, some of the big doubles. So no, take a roll here.
Right. Oftentimes, you in these types of situations, as you mentioned, you want to consider the race and you want to consider the chances that you hit the shot. Another thing that sometimes people don't think about is, say this blot were over here on the 11 point and you still had a 2-pip racing lead, or perhaps even a 4 to 8-pip racing lead. You see that you have 11 numbers to hit the blot if it were on the 11. However, if you don't hit the blot, that means your other numbers are usually going to be big because you're not going to roll a 2. That means you're going to gain more in the race. So your chances to win are either hitting or racing, and they kind of complement each other. None of the numbers are duplicated. So that's something people sometimes don't think about.
Yeah, and I think if a blot was on the 4 point or on the bar point, then there would be more sequences are worked better for black. More
Right,
points
right,
numbers.
right.
Yeah. Okay. So take a roll.
Okay, double 1.
So here, I'm just going to make the 4 point and unstack. Hang on, no, from 2 from the 6. Yeah. So I have good spares on the high points. I have good numbers now to make the 3 point.
Okay. How important do you think it's going to be to make the 3 point next, given that it's almost a straight race?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's not my priority, but of course, when bearing off, it's better to have the checkers on the higher points as well. And of course, I am thinking about kind of moving towards an efficient double here, but at the moment, the race lead is just not really sufficient for that.
Okay. Now we're behind.
Yeah.
Looking to roll.
Take a roll. Okay, so just play 1 from the mid to the 5 point.
One of the things I like to do in these races is try to bear in with what I call a right triangle structure, so that the most checkers are on the 6th, then the 5, then the 4. And this puts an extra one on the 5 without a 4th checker on the 6. I think this is a minor difference, but another option would be to do this. Gives a little bit more flexibility to bear in efficiently, but that's fine. These are.
You may have heard of Trice's Tower, which is
Yes.
having having them on the 6, 5, and 4, which leads to a more efficient bear off in a race scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 5-1. All right. Now we're gonna roll 6-1. So
yeah, 1 into a 6.
yep.
Okay, so it's pretty close a race.
Now, for some of the viewers, we're going to have some beginners. What are you thinking about when you think about the doubling decision in these kinds of positions? Not immediately now, but soon, perhaps.
So here there's still contact in the position because from my midpoint. So it's not completely clear. Once it's clear from the mid, I would probably double with about a 7 or 8 pip lead. Depending on wastage, like here, I don't have any wastage currently in the home board because I roll on the high points, which is another advantage of not having the ace point stacked. But yes, I would definitely wait until the midpoint was cleared and then keep an eye on the pip count. And, this is where over the board you could keep a running pip count because this position would be quite straightforward to count.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say wastage, you're referring to checkers that are deep on the inner board points, which slow down the bear off.
Yeah, that's right. And it's definitely worth taking that into account, when you're considering doubling as well, of course.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's take
Okay, that's a great roll. So
2 go, and then well, it's going to be unless white rolls a double, it's going to be a pass after this. So let's just bring 2 in from the 8 to 2. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. And now it's a huge pass now with this lead. So double.
All right. So now leading 1-0. White opens with a 5-2, bringing 2 down.
So it's interesting because we started last game with a 5-2, but the reason why this is correct now is because of the gammons. Obviously, this leads to more gammons. So here, I just make a 3-point, of course.
Right. And you also want to think about how your gammons play. So in this instance, down 0-1 or 3 away, 2 away, a gammon will get him to 2-1 Crawford or 1 away, 2 away Crawford. A gammon save. That's a valuable score. So that's part of it. Okay.
And here I also need to be cautious as well about taking the cube 3 away, 2 away.
Right.
Gammon go light, particularly now that my opponent's made the 5-point. There's a good chance that he may double in the next roll unless I roll something really good.
What is something really good for you right now?
Double 6, double 3, making my own 5-point, something like that.
No, good. 5-1.
So 5-1 is let's reinforce the 8-point, and then 24 to 23. So
sometimes something to consider with these is, given the number of checkers in the zone, to try to play like this. However, although this does unstack the 6-point from 4 to 3, it's not unstacking it as efficiently as when you have 5 checkers here. So when you have 5, it's not as big a deal. So
I think it's really important before every move to consider what your checkers are doing. You only have 15 checkers and you want to make each man in your army work for you. So if you see stacks of checkers, you want to try to use them. But you are correct, having 5 on a point and 4 on a point is different when you make slotting plays.
Right. Okay. Now it's a double.
Yeah, so I expected there to be a double. Of course, you can double a lot more aggressively, 3 away, 2 away. But here, I'm not on the bar. The race is very close. White still has 2 checkers back. I have a 2-point board. So it looks like a pretty easy take. So I'm going to take this.
Okay, so it's attacking. Okay. So now we're just going to roll.
Yeah, duplicated 2s there, of course, with the hit. So now I'm going to come in and hit. And then pick up another checker, 8 to 4. Because I have the deeper point made, I have more of a blitzing structure here, whereas white has more of a priming structure with a higher point made. And of course, it's good to put 2 on the bar as well. It gives white fewer entry numbers to hit back.
That's a good point emphasized in Backgammon Masterclass by Mochi. Okay. 5-4 hit back.
Okay, so I'm not devastated by the hit. So come in
5-4
with a 4. Now then. So now the race is still close. So I have some options here. 13 to 8 is one option with the 5. It's always good to have a spare on the 8, because then when I make the 5 and 4 point, I don't leave myself exposed. Another idea with the 5 is to play 6 to 1. But here, we do not need a tempo as such here. And again, there's a big difference, as we said, between having 5 checkers and 4 on a 6. If there were 5 checkers on a 6 point, then this may be the correct play. And the other candidate I'm considering is 21 to 16. I get some outfield control, and he duplicates 4s and 2s. For white to make his 4 point and to hit. The benefit of that black checker being on the 21 point is I can make the advanced anchor by keeping it there with 2s and 3s. Okay, let's have a think. Okay, I'm going to play 21 to 16 with the 5.
The other legal options would be to play 23-18 to slot another advanced anchor and serve as somewhat of a distraction play, and also this one, which we can pretty quickly disregard.
Yes, I ruled out 23-18 because there's just too many double hits there. And with the cube turns, I don't want to be gammoned and lose a match on an unlucky sequence. So semi-confident to jump out there.
Okay. 6-1. Okay, so now starting to get primed. 6-3.
Okay, so it looks right to make for 10 points here. Also acts as a nice block if white makes the anchor. Just go back. Let me see what else there is. So there's a running play, but then we leave 2 blots. Obviously a bit too dangerous, 2-minute shots. So yes, let's just make the 10 point.
Yeah. It did anchor. Now 4-2.
Okay, so hitting is obviously an option here. Feels like quite a weak hit because there's lots of returns I'm giving there, and having 3 back behind the 4 prime is obviously going to increase my opponent's gammons. So I then love the hit, and also I'm up in the race as well, so don't need to leave the returns. Let me have a look at some other plays. So another play is to come to the edge of the prime, 23 to 21, aiming to escape, and then playing 6 to 2 with 4. Now, I also like this. Usually it's right to step up to the edge of a prime. White doesn't have many spares to hit me, and the 2 is actually duplicated because that's useful for him to make his bar, the bar point there, and also their 11 point. Here the hitting play, yes, not that sure. Okay, I'm going to make this play. Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. Afterwards, we'll analyze it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were hit, but we would have been hit the other way with the 5-2. Now 5-2. So the 2 is forced.
And the 5 down, no real option here. Yeah.
Okay.
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 So this is obviously great. So I'm going to hit on a 21 point. And now do I play 8 to 2 or 21? So of course hitting twice is very nice. But then I have the vulnerability of the blot in my board. So the chances are I may get hit back. Also with the cube turns, I then need to make a gammonish play and pick up lots of blots. So if I just hit with a 3 and then make the point with a 6. 2 good options here. 30 pip lead. I think I'm going to hit and make the point like this. Yes.
Yeah. I think when I look at these types of plays, I try to, just like you did, think about the pros and cons and what are the assets and liabilities of each play. So, for example, if you hit and continue, this has the benefit of partially escaping one of the last 2 checkers, which is, of course, good. It also hits another checker, so that does gain in the race. And when you have 2 on the bar, it's harder to hit a blot or do something productive. It takes away more of the tempo. And the final thing that is that it basically removes one of White's checkers that it could be used to offensively make a hitting play or a priming play by making the 16 point or the 9 point or things like that. On the other hand, if you do just this, you may have some challenges escaping the prime. Maybe not so much with this checker, but this checker. So we'll see what the analysis shows, and we can kind of look at it.
Sure. Okay.
Double 6. Okay, so that was good. Now double 2.
Okay, so double 2. So 1 is going to make the anchor as well. And then make the 4 point.
Yep. Looks good.
Pretty solid. Yeah. So it's a good
Okay.
sequence.
Now 2-1.
Okay, so okay, so 20. So yes, 10 to 8 and 10 to 9, I think. Just leave 5-4.
And 4-1.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 4-1 is also duplicated to come in and step. But yeah, I think like one of the things I think about in these types of positions, when you have a role like this that's not very productive, of course, what you want to do is escape these checkers because you're up in the race. You just try to minimize shots, and That's
That's
pretty
right.
good to do.
I mean, my reluctance here, of course, was having the 2 points made. The 8 points lacks value in the
Right.
position.
Right.
But yes, minimizing shots, of course,
Yeah, yeah.
is
You're
key.
you're not making the 8 point with the intent of priming. You're making the 8 point just for lack of all the other alternatives.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, dances again, hoping for a 6. Uh-oh, double 4.
Okay. So double four is a bit of a curveball. So the back guys are going nowhere. So let's bring two down from the midpoint, and then two from the 8 point, right?
Yep,
I don't love it, but it's not much else.
right. Okay. Okay, double 5.
Wow. So
That's
now,
what we were looking for.
and
Okay, 3-2.
so 9 to 6 and 4 to 2. Yes. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. The other option would be something like this, but I think I like this better.
Gives me some small numbers to make the ace
Yeah.
point. And yeah, okay. So let's take a roll.
Okay.
I'm in a bit of an awkward situation here. Even before the roll, I'm very disconnected.
Right.
And now I'm in danger, of course, of even being gammoned here.
Yeah.
Because I might be forced off the anchor
Yeah.
potentially a bit later. Okay, then so two in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, just that's forced. So now I wonder if white will make some kind of a trapping play,
Yeah.
particularly when my board starts to deteriorate. Let's play 4 to 1. And then 2 to 1. Give myself some 3s and 2s to play. Yeah, 4 to 2 and 2 to 1. Okay, so yeah. And 6 to 5, yeah, kills 5s, yeah.
Now
Okay.
3 works. Okay, double 3.
Okay, so 2 off there for sure. And then the other 2 are forced. 5 to 2 and 4 to 1 pretty much, yeah.
You could also
Okay.
save a 4 by playing like this.
Yeah, true.
I think this is better.
I think this is okay, and I've got a big race lead here, so now I'm just hoping for for some high numbers to run. But here, of course, the race lead is misleading because I have a lot of wastage in this
Right,
board.
right. That's what we were talking about earlier. Okay, 2-1. Okay. So
Interesting.
6-2. So 6 is forced and 2 is just continue, I guess, or do you want to safety this block?
Yeah, I think because white has 3 blots in board, I'm just going to continue that. Yeah, try to remake the 4 possibly.
Okay. All right. So 2-1 hit. 3-2 danced. Double 5. Okay.
Okay.
3-2.
Looks like we may be going to another game here. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
4.
And yeah. I'm just going to run here. Yeah, because I've still got race value in the position. So.
And there are no immediate shot leaving numbers for white. And you can also have the 2-1, double 1, or other pick and pass numbers to increase
That's right. There's no
gammon.
benefit really in staying because I'm going to have to go probably the next roll anyhow.
Right.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Looking for big rolls. So that was pretty big.
4 in. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So 5 and 1 off. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can take it from here.
Just do this on autopilot. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, it's not over yet.
Now it's very unlikely. Okay,
Okay,
so now it's 2 away, 1 away, Crawford. So Gammon, go.
that's right. So let's make the 3 point.
And we cannot double, so I'll just roll.
Yep. So
5.
13 to 8 and split the back checkers. Yeah.
Okay. That was big, making that anchor for white, because that saves a lot of gammons.
Okay, double 5 is not fantastic because they're back to a trapped and I've already made my 3 point. So let's make the ace point with 2 of them and then play to the 3 point. Yeah.
Well, to the 3 point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bit overrun in this position, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, 4-3. So 16 pips up in the race. Time to go. Let's play 22 to 15. Let's have a look at it. 3s and 1s. Yeah, I don't like stripping the midpoint. Of course, I'm still leaving shots by keeping that one back. So yes, let's just run.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and let's run again. Duplicates 4s. Okay, well then, so the first two are 16 to 4.
What is your thought process when you're looking at this number?
So I have a race lead. So the way I win this game is just to race and get my checkers home safely without leaving unnecessary shots. White is playing a holding game, wants to stay back and for contact. So certainly I don't want to leave that block there on the 16 points. So I'm going to play that down to 10 points first off.
Okay.
And then I have options with the other ones here. Of course, it's nice to make the bar point with the 3 checkers, but then I give white a 5 to hit and also to escape. So he does 2 good things with a 5. 5s are duplicated to hit me on the ace point as well. And he has to sacrifice his anchor, but of course he doesn't mind sacrificing his anchor, particularly because I have a bit of a funky home board with a dilly builder and those 2 checkers. So let's play the 2 6s to the 4 point. And then we consider the other 2 6s. So my initial thought is 24 to 18 and 8 to 2. So here I'm 33 pips up after the roll. If I don't get hit here, then I'm in a very good position to win, of course. Let's go back to the starting position. Okay, what else can we do? So, candidate play I'm considering is 16 to 10 and making the bar point. We looked at that earlier with a duplication of the fives. But obviously that, you know, I don't want to get hit there and be sent back. So let's go with the original play, the 16 to 4, 24 to 18, and 8 to 2. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I agree. There are four major game plans to winning without the cube in backgammon. Racing is the first, priming or blocking is the second, blitzing or attacking is the third, and the fourth is kind of the opposite, a defensive strategy like white has. And if you're ahead in the race by so much like you are here, you just kind of want to bring things home. So just looking at your assets and liabilities, here the primary liability is the remaining back checker, so you try to get it as close to home as possible. And I believe there are 24 numbers that hit, but the other third of the time, you're doing pretty good.
That's right. And here, you know, getting hit here is better than getting hit on the other side of the board.
Right.
And I don't mind being hit by a 1 so much, because then white is going to leave a lot of returns. So sure, let's see what happens.
Okay. 3-2, not hit. There we go.
There you go.
3-1.
Okay, so 18 to 15. And then let's make use of that dilly builder and make the 2 point. Yeah.
So how many numbers hit here?
Okay, so we have any 3, which is 11 shots. And then we've got 2-1, which is another 2 shots. And then we've got 6-4 and double 5. So what's that? There's that 16 out of 36 shots, right?
Okay. And if you play like this,
I'm just leaving 2s, 11 shots, and then I'm leaving 9s. So 6-3, 5-4, double 3 doesn't hit. Yeah, so that's it. So 1 fewer shot, but I like putting all my checkers to use, as mentioned earlier. So I think making the 2 point is a good use of that checker.
So one way I count shots, a little bit of a shortcut is, let's say you play here and then you play the 1 there. Anytime you have a direct number, that's 11, right? So whether it's here or here, there's going to be 11 3s or 11 2s. So you know that at baseline. So I just add the additional numbers. So let's say you do this. The additional numbers in addition to the 3s are 2-1, 6-4 in terms of the non-doublets. I like to count those first because those count twice, as well as double 5. So that's 5 total extra numbers. On the other hand, if you're doing this, the only total extra numbers are 6-3 and 5-4, because as you said, double 3 doesn't hit. So that's 4 extra numbers. So the difference between 5 and 4 is 1 extra number, as you mentioned. It's a little less math, but
Sure.
That's shortcut I use. Okay. So we'll see. 4-1 missed. Okay. 2-1.
Okay, so let's safety up, 15 to 13. And then 4 to 3. Just thinking actually about how 3s play here.
Yeah, may be useful to keep a 3.
Yeah.
Like you roll a 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to do this and keep a 3, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I think, again, like as we mentioned earlier, that it's always worth just slowing down. I think a common mistake of newer players and even intermediates is that they just play too fast. And, you know, they might leave unnecessary shots or get themselves into an awkward situation by just playing too fast and you know, doing the first thing that they see. I encourage students to look at like the second move. What's your second play, the second best move? And then you can make a comparison of those two plays and weigh up the pros and cons.
I remember you did a whole video on the second best play, and that was a good one.
Yeah, something I try to do myself over the board, of course, is important in situations.
Another thing I like to do is even before the roll, think about what are the goals that I'm trying to accomplish, to think about what I'm going to want to do, what are the good rolls, what are the bad rolls, and sometimes that helps as well.
Yeah, I think, top GMs, they do this as a matter of course. They go through all the numbers. And like even in opening replies, when you did that video recently, a lot of the answers are to do with duplication, duplicating numbers for your opponent and so forth.
Yeah. Okay. 5-4, so
Okay, so let's just bring 1 to the 4 point.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
One, okay. 6-1, so just safe.
Yeah, that's right. So obviously, I'd be doubling this position as well, but we're a Crawford. But usually, you
Right.
want to get a 15 pip lead against a 20-point holding game to offer the double.
I've been studying these and trying to make a video about doubling against the 20-point anchor game. So there are many things you have to think about, but the race is a primary thing.
Yeah, and also the flexibility. So in this position, 2 on the 8 in the mid, I'm actually in quite an inflexible position here. Whereas rolls like 6-3, for instance, are going to play really badly for me.
Right.
So, and against White's superior home board, obviously I need to be a bit mindful of those rolls.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now it's not so bad because of the timing.
That's right. Yeah, another key factor. So here I have a kind of pay now, pay later situation. I can play 13 to 8, of course, which if missed, kind of solves a lot of my problems with potential bad rolls coming up. But here I'm leaving quite a lot of good rolls for White with 8s, right? So for example, 2-6, 5-3, double 4, and double 2. So six bad rolls is just too costly, really, because getting hit here, I would lose the game. So let's just play quietly, play 6-2, and keep that going to the ace point.
Save another 3. Another thing sometimes people think about, or maybe don't think about, is when you leave a shot 8 away, if there are no blocking numbers in between, blocking points in between, then you have 6 numbers that hit, as you mentioned, 6, 2, 5, 3, and the 2 doubles, double 4 and double 2. When you have 1 7 away, it's also 6 numbers, 6, 1, 5, 2, or 4, 3. However, there is a subtle difference. In addition to the fact that you're 1 point closer to home when you're 7 away than when you're 8 away, that makes it easier. The other thing that sometimes people don't think about is when you're 8 away, you have a little bit more joker rolls as the defender, because sometimes when you hit with a double 4, you use half the roll to hit, and then you have the other half of the roll to do something else. It also gains a little bit more in the race. So something else that people don't think, like a subtle thing.
Yeah, and in terms of pay now, pay later situations, it's always worth asking yourself, do I need to take the risk? I mean, because here I can win in other ways. Maybe I won't leave a shot. Maybe I'll roll a double. Maybe White will run out of timing. Maybe White will crunch his position. There's other outcomes which are favorable to me, and therefore I don't need to leave an unnecessary risk at this point.
Right. Also, you want to think about how those hitting numbers would play if you don't leave a shot. So for example, here without leaving a shot, the double four doesn't play so well for white.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if I were to roll a 6-3, well, I'm leaving the indirect shot
Right.
on a subsequent roll, and at that point, white's timing will be even worse, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I read a recent book by Francois Tardieu. I believe we were talking about this. He has a whole chapter on pay now and pay later. I definitely recommend that.
Yeah,
Okay.
superb book. I actually met him in Monte Carlo,
Yeah, yeah.
and wonderful. Yeah, great man. And what I really love about that book is how he has the candidate plays, where he will show you 4 possible plays and then talk through each one. And then he will rule out two immediately. It's not C for this, it's not D, and then get down to the 2 plays, which might be quite close in equity. It's a really good way, I think, to learn. And I just put out a video where I was looking at some variables in a position. Sure, it really helps.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so we'll move forward a little bit faster in the interest of time. I know you need to get going soon. So 3-1.
Okay, so I'm still not leaving the shot. So let's play 4-1 and 2-1. Stack them up.
Okay.
Give myself a good 3 still.
Okay, so now he was able to do that because of the blot in the board. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like an amoeba play, this, right?
Right, right.
Type in I roll badly. So here, I can, hit and cover, right? 8-5, 5-3. Um, but leaving the shots here, with a 4 and also the indirects, it's very costly to get hit. So I'm just going to break my 6 points and cover the 2 blots in board. And then white really has no timing. With 6s, he's just going to have to leave anyway, which I want. And I'm up in the race. So really, white wants to roll small numbers and just shuffle them in his front position.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He did. Okay. Now duplicated our 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Double 4.
Okay, so monster, obviously. So 2 down, and then yes, make the point. That's a
Okay.
great roll.
Yeah.
Solves a lot of problems. Yeah.
I have people that roll those numbers and complain that they didn't roll double 3.
This is how you win games, I think. Just
Yeah.
get a good double when it counts. And wow,
Double 1. Okay.
I think that is obviously a great
Okay,
sequence.
so now 3-1.
So 3-1, clearing a 6 is a mistake here because you end up with a awkward 3 checkers on the back. It's going to leave a lot of shots with high numbers. So I think with 3-1 you right. I know with 4-1 you clear the 4 point, but with 3-1, yeah, yeah. I think you clear the 5 point with 3-1. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, this still leaves, of course, 6-1, 5-1, double 6, double 5, double 4. Let me have a look at the play after clearing a 4 point. So here I have 6-2. Okay, let's go with this. This is the fewest number of shots.
Okay. Okay, easy to play.
I think these doubles are making my decisions slightly easier. So he's danced there, which is a bit unfortunate for me. Okay, so that's again a bit lucky there towards the end with those doubles. Okay, great. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's DMP. So we'll go.
Yeah, let's make the 4 points. Okay, let's Okay, so post Crawford, I would be making the 20 point for sure. Um, this moves me more into a kind of racing game as well as DMP. Um, but I also making the 11 points. So I'm going to do the 22 and the 11. Do two good things.
One of the things I tell people at DMP, those four primary game plans, because because of the fact that there's no cube, every game must be played to its conclusion, and ultimately, when that happens, the race it ultimately becomes a race. So racing becomes more of a priority. So I don't know, that 20 point may have been a good candidate too. So let's see what happens.
That's right. Yeah, I did consider that. Okay, so let's roll. Yep. Okay, so he runs. Okay, so now I also like the racing play, 22 to 11. That puts me up by 7 pips. There's of course a blitzing play here as well. Instead, so 6 to 1, 37. But at DMP, usually blitzing is incorrect because we don't need the gammons. So that kind of let's make the running play. We've got the stronger board.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ouch.
Double four. Okay, so one.
Right. Okay. One. Okay, so yeah, interesting. I think I like making the 7 point with the 3 checkers. It creates a strong prime. I have some good spares, keeps white trapped. Let's do this. Yes.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Okay. He escapes.
Oh wow.
Wow, 1, 2.
One, two, and
and
then
and then yeah. Okay. So then I guess I just make the 2 point.
right. Okay. 6 2, 6 5.
Make the ace. Yeah.
The other thought would be something like this, but I think I like this. You don't want
Yeah,
it deep.
I kind of prefer making the higher points, of course, because I don't want white to enter high. But I've got such a big race lead here that I don't really care if white enters high anyhow. He can't play a high anchor game with one blot. So
Right. The other thing is anchors are a little bit devalued at DMP because gammon losses don't count. So a single checker can be used as a pseudo anchor, and it might actually be worse for us if he enters deep because that's more contact as a goalkeeper. So
yeah, that's right. Yes. I mean, he enters high, I will just play over his head and then win by racing, which is the
right,
kind of game, as you mentioned, you want to have a DMP anyway. So,
right.
okay,
6
so
4, 5 3. Okay.
okay, so that's what can we do with 5 3? Okay, so now I think I just leave a double 5 shot. I think I play 13 to 10 and just leave double 5 because I really don't want to give any opportunity for white to get back in the game,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
The other alternative would be something like this without leaving the dilly builder, and that only leaves a 5 3, but that's one extra shot, and I don't think it's worth it.
I
This
think,
doesn't gain that much.
yeah, that's right. It's probably quite close, but yeah, definitely I don't want to be leaving
Yeah.
any unnecessary shots when being so far up in the race. And here I can still use those checkers to make, the points in the board.
Okay. 5 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now double two. Great roll.
Okay. So make the
2,
5 points.
and then bring
And then just bring 2 down. Yeah.
yeah.
He
Okay, great.
can't hit me unless he rolls a 3 7.
Right. 3 7s are unlikely.
So yeah, so
And
taking
then
off.
when I make these plays, I like to think about how my large numbers next, like double sixes, double fives, double fours, 6 5, 6 4, 5 4 play next, and they're okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you start to recognize them by the pattern formation. Um, so here, what should we do here? So I'd kind of like a spare on my 5 points, but that's not going to happen with this roll. So let's just make the bar point. Of
The
course,
other,
I don't really need a point that I'm going to have to clear later, but there's not really any other great option. Yeah, I don't like you there either. So
okay,
let's. Mhm. Okay, so 6 into the 5 points, and then hang on, let's go back. Sorry, to a position.
you want to play the 6 there, and then the 4 would be here.
Yeah, that leaves double sixes. So no, let's do that and play 6 6 to 2. Yeah,
Okay.
get off the doubles. Okay, yeah, 2 in. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then take those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
excellent. So that was
we'll just
okay.
autopilot the rest of the way.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and just okay, so we'll review the match. I know you have to get going, so we can go pretty quickly.
Sure, yeah, I have a little bit of time
Oh,
now.
you do? Okay.
We can go through it for a little bit. That's
Okay.
sure.
So not a whole lot in this first game. The 5-2 was straightforward, and the 6-5 again,
Mhm.
straightforward. 6-3 again, we ran. And
Mhm.
then the 2-1 was just try to play safe.
Yeah,
And then the 5-3, this is the one we were thinking about, and it was clear to make the 5 point for the reasons you mentioned.
yeah.
Um, and the 6-2 was just safely playing.
Mhm.
And the double one, so these ones were close, I guess. I guess
Yeah,
when you have doubles, it's
guess some more options. I think double two and double four are considered the hardest of the roles to play because there
yeah,
are just so many, so many decisions. I've heard that from people. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
who said it first, but yeah,
Okay, double, and then the 5-3, it looks like those they were all pretty much tied. Not a big difference.
Mhm.
The 6-1 was just bringing it here, and after the double six, it was pretty much a pass. And I guess it slightly favored bringing one to the ace point, but I guess
Yeah.
tied.
I knew it was going to be a pass, so I don't think it really made
That
a
didn't
great
matter.
deal of difference. Okay, so
Okay, so then here with the 5-3 was just make the 3 point,
mhm.
and then 5-1, or this is the 5-1.
Okay, yeah,
Splitting was correct. And then this was a double due to the score.
that's right. Yeah,
I
so
have this here. So I have another board. If we modify it so that it's 0-0,
yeah.
now it's a big no double.
Mhm.
So that was the reason you were right.
Yeah, and at 4 away, 2 away, I mean, it's probably a borderline take pass, right? Okay, still quite a
It's
big take.
still take, but yeah, much stronger.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, you have to be careful at those scores, or just in general when you have a match lead and your opponent can double more aggressively in those
Right.
positions.
And the 4-2, the double hit was clear for the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. This 5-4, I remember it's just coming up
This
as a
is the 5-4. I think the advantage of playing 13-8 is, as you said, it redistributes a spare. So you add one here, and you also keep this potential anchor slotted. Whereas now he has like good shots here to bring builders down and also fly shots from here, like 6-5, double six.
That's right. And here you can oversee duplication in the position. I think was it Steve Sachs who said stuplication.
Yeah.
When you here by jumping out, I disconnect my back checkers. I don't make the anchor as easily, and of course, getting hit in the outfield leaves fewer returns as well.
Yeah, and you lose more in the race when you're hit in the outfield than when you're hit here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Then this one was clear to make the 10 point. And the 4-2.
Good.
Yeah, good. So either of these two was better than the hitting play.
Yeah, you just don't gain enough from the hit, right?
Yeah, you just have to be safe, especially at the score. I guess no, you lose fewer gammons after hitting, interestingly.
I mean, this is an interesting one. You could show some variations with an extra spare on the midpoint, for instance, so you didn't strip it, or if white had a 3-point prime, sort of a 4-point.
So now it's right to hit.
Yeah.
And the 3-point prime, like this.
Yeah, I thought so. It's kind of interesting, right? And I think it's a really good way to learn using XG like this to move things around, to see kind of like what are the key features of a position. So the prime and the midpoint are obviously important in not hitting.
Right. I have a scientific background, so I'm used to like setting up experiments. And this is essentially what you're doing is you're making an experiment. You're modifying the position to see if that changes things. And it does. And that's how you learn. And that's how we learn with scientific experiments as well.
Yeah, I like to think in terms of a visual map, right? The more things you learn, the more things you read or hear, and the more often you play, the more things you can see in the position.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like being a Renaissance art specialist. You would go to the Sistine Chapel in Italy, and then you would see and understand more of a fresco, right? Because you'd have more knowledge and understanding. And whereas for a tourist, you just say, "Oh, that's Adam and God almost touching hands," you know. So, yeah, it's like that, a visual map where you keep on adding the color and the character to it over time. Yeah.
Yeah. The interesting thing to note is this play, like this, resulting in this position, puts the checkers here where only this one sees daylight, and it sees less daylight because it needs a 6. But it freezes these checkers more, so it's hard for white to make the 4-point with like a 4-2 or 3-2 or something, because then you get a double shot. But it's not worth it because you're not seeing as much daylight.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, and definitely looking at where your opponent's checkers are, which points are stripped, and which ones he's going to have to break to hit you, often leads to finding the right play.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So then the 5-2 was just forced to come in, and then 13-8, and then this one.
Yes.
So this one, it looks like, yeah, I think we were discussing this. This one, I think it was just too much, escaping the second checker, putting a second checker on the bar despite the fact that you're leaving a blot.
I suppose as well, if you get hit on the 2-point, you effectively end back in the same position with 2 behind the prime.
Right.
So you're not giving away too much. And I guess hitting and escaping. Yeah, I wasn't sure. There were 2 good, what seemed like 2 good plays, but yeah.
When you mentioned that, when you said hitting and escaping, it just brought to my mind something I learned from, well, not learned, but something that Phil Simborg often emphasizes. He says the word "and" is one of the most important words in backgammon, because that means you can do 2 things. You can do one good thing and a second good thing, that's better than just doing one good thing. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Two good things are better than one, sure.
right. So that's why I mean, the cons are, of course, you leave a direct shot, so you have to weigh the pros and the cons, which is very difficult in these types of situations.
I
Uh,
think another factor here is when I make the 2 point with a six, I end up with three stripped points in my outfield. So it leaves me in a really, awkward stripped position, right? That if I don't escape a prime, I roll like fours, threes, for instance, I'm gonna have to break points and leave more shots.
right.
Um,
After
so
this, you have like sixes and fours to cover, twos to step up, ones to hit. You have a lot of good diversification in your own roles.
yeah, and the position is just overall more flexible to play,
Right. The
right?
flexibility is key. Okay. So let's
Mhm.
see. We have next. The double two was pretty clear, just making the anchor and making the 4 point.
Yeah, and I think that was probably the best role, right, in
It
this
was a good
position.
roll.
Mm,
And then the 2-1, I guess
okay.
it had a little preference towards 13 to 11.
Yeah, I kind of block the double five joker here.
Yeah,
And also I clear like a troublesome point as well. Yeah, sure. Hmm.
yeah. Not a big deal on these ones. Double four was an anti-joker, I guess. It was almost
Yeah.
essentially forced. And then the 3-2. Oh yeah, it looks like these plays were close.
Slotting the point, making
Yeah,
use of the
it's the
check.
same. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. And then the
Yeah.
6-5 was basically forced, and the 4-1 was just playing behind. And
Hmm.
then with the 3-1, just go to the ace point. There wasn't much interesting stuff here. Let's try to skip forward a little bit. The double three was forced. It misplayed the 2-1. But let's see what we did. 6-2.
What's
Oh
happened
yeah,
here?
here it wanted us to save a three here.
Okay, yeah, I think you did mention that, didn't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Hmm.
Okay, and then we
Good
couldn't move,
moves.
we couldn't move, and then the 5-4, the running was clear, and there was nothing else really here, so we'll go to the next game.
Hmm.
Starting here, the 5-3 was clear, and then the 5-2 was just splitting, and then the double five looks like it preferred the extra builder on the 8, like
Okay,
like
I see.
this, as
Yeah.
opposed to the dilly builder here,
Mhm.
but not a big deal.
Yeah. Even with splitting with a two, usually you don't like to split when the opponent has four checkers on the 8 point, because he has more of a blitz structure. But here, it's better, it's better to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Yes.
want to you don't want to leave
Mhm.
a shot here.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and then the 4-3 looks like these ones were close, but I think it
Yeah,
likes the 13 to 6 a little better because you get the spare on the 6 point. It's very awkward to have a strip 6 point, and these still do see a decent amount of daylight. Um,
yeah.
but they're close.
Hmm. Okay.
Then the 6-3 was clear to come out, and then the double six. This is the one we were thinking about, but it looks like we made the right play.
Mhm. And here you find the right answer by thinking in terms of game plan, which we also discussed, that I'm just ahead and I want to race. So I just make the most race efficient play in the position.
Yeah, if you're missed, you're in good shape. Uh,
Yeah, which is what happened, right? Yeah.
3-2. So this is the one. It is worth it to have the board for one extra number.
Yeah, sure.
Then the 2-1. So this one, it looks like it liked saving the three. Oh, it liked saving and also a two. But these are
Yeah.
close. These are close. But
Mhm.
actually, this one was
Well, that's interesting because 4-3 is an error. So saving a three here is really important because you've
right.
got can't play the threes with you know, the 20 points made there. So
Yeah, that's what you were thinking about. So good. And then 13-4 was clear here. I think these ones were rather clear. And then this one. Oh, yeah.
okay, so
Here, when you do this, you stack. When you stack too many on the ace point like this, it becomes inefficient for the race. So
yeah, I guess
this
here I
this
was overthinking of saving a three, but here White just has run out of timing in this
Oh, the
position.
other thing about this is you left the blot here. You left the two blots, so that allowed him to do that amoeba split.
Yeah, and I got a bit lucky there with rolling the double. Otherwise, it could have been a bit
I
interesting.
wonder what would have happened. Say you played like this, and then white rolled the 4-3.
Mm,
Couldn't have split.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So that's good to think about. Okay. And then 3-2 here, you had to clear the 6 point.
Yeah, sure.
And then the double four was great.
Hmm.
Double one, and then 3-1. Okay, so here, this was the one.
Yeah, I guess I messed this up. This is something to think about. Yeah.
So this leaves 6-5, 6-4, 5-4, and double fours are higher. So that's 9 numbers.
Mm,
This it only leaves two immediate numbers. However, when you have a deeper gap, it becomes challenging later. So it's not only the immediate clearing numbers, but and then this one you have a higher gap, which I guess it's not worth it because if he comes in with an immediate 6, it's really good.
yeah, that's right. I know often you clear the 4 points with some numbers, right? In these positions, you don't leave yourselves odd on the back. Um, but I suppose in this, it's a bit of a different kind of situation because you White's only got one on the bar and you kind of want him to go and get gone, really. So
The other thing with this one, 4-3-4-1, it's a little bit inflexible because you only have a spare on the 3 and the 1, whereas after clearing the 5, you have spares on 3 different points. That gives you a little bit of future flexibility. And here
yeah.
you also have spares, but you don't like having odd on the highest point with even on the second one.
Mhm.
But I guess in this case it was worth it.
Yeah, I was minimizing shots, but at later risk
Right, right.
with repeating.
So the
So
rest of this was straightforward. So we'll go to the final game, the DMP game. So the 4-2 was clear, and this was the one that we were discussing
mm, yeah,
at
so
DMP, whereas let's say we
that
do this at like a money game, still better.
okay, yeah, sure. Hmm. Yeah, the racing play because at DMP you just want to make the racing play, right?
At,
But even here you just cancel out the prime value and effectively you freeze for checkers on White's 6 point by making a 20 point because you can't play the ace.
right, right. One of the things is like one of the biggest liabilities in the opening position is the stack of 5 checkers on the 6 point, and you really want to use them to make the 5 and the 4. But once you have that anchor, white cannot do that. The other thing is the 22-point anchor doesn't have as much value. You're going to want to race later, and it's much easier to race from the 20 point. Um,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
making this point is okay, but other than that, it doesn't do all that much. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
okay, so then we had the racing play with this one,
Hmm. So that was
and
good. And there you can see the blitzing play is really bad, right? Because of a DMP.
oh, this one, yeah, the blitzing play, yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. Sure, but obviously at a different score with gammons involved and so on. Yeah, things change. Yeah.
So this is what it liked, and the other option would have been to make the bar point and slot these, but it had a slight preference to just the clean play.
Mhm.
And then the double six was
Yeah.
right. You just want to hit and then safely play. The 6-5,
Oh yeah. So you
look,
mentioned this,
that's what
didn't
we were
you?
talking
Yeah.
about.
Just leaving nothing, basically. Here I'm leaving 3-6 and 5-4. It's just
Right.
too.
Too many numbers with this much of a racing lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's important to think about those things. The 5-3,
Mhm.
look how close they were.
Yeah.
Virtually tied.
Yeah.
Then it was pretty much smooth sailing from here.
Yeah.
The
That double
4-3,
two is obviously fantastic. And
the 4-3 was as we discussed. 6-4 again was
just
clear, and then 6-2 was clear. Then it was pretty much smooth sailing from here.
sure. So
And that was,
a few things to think about. Please send me the match file and I'll
I will absolutely. So I'll go ahead and save this. Played outstanding. Congratulations. Go
thank
ahead
you.
and stop this. That was really good. I enjoyed it. I think we learned some things. I'll save the match file. I'll put it up on the video. And what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that. There's obviously a few mistakes there that I need to kind of look at in more detail. Um, but backgammon is a learning process for us all, right? And there's always things to think about. But it's a good standard of play, which I'm happy about.
Good, good. Always looking to learn and improve. So I know you're back on doing some videos. What are the things you're doing in the future? What can we look forward to?
So there's going to be a couple more videos coming out, which will probably be out when this video goes live. So I've just kind of made 7 or 8 videos just to put out over Christmas and New Year. So check those out. And of course, look at the back catalogue as well. There's loads of videos with
Yes.
Grandmasters, and you came on, talked about the 20 point and 5 point. So yeah, I will put out some more content. I don't think it will be a weekly video due to work constraints, but
Yeah.
I hope to still continue to kind of give my fans some more backgammon content. So me and you, Alex, we kind of have got the UK and America kind of covered with learning content, I believe.
Yeah, I always enjoy your content. Thank you for everything you do. Congratulations on all your work. It's outstanding. Everyone likes it. Looking forward to future videos, and you're always welcome to come again as a guest here. You have an open invitation. We can do other videos. Wishing you a happy new year. We're doing this at the end of the year. Do you have any final comments before we go ahead and conclude?
No, only to say thank you to you as well, Alex, for your contribution to a backgammon community. I know personally the effort it takes to make videos and to find guests and to upload. It's not an easy task. So well done, for everything that you've put out. And I also enjoy your own videos. So yeah, fantastic. Have a great new year, and I hope to see you in 2024.
Yep, thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and conclude. Thank you again to my good friend Dan Rovira. Appreciate your time. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos so I can work on that. I will also put a link to Dan's YouTube channel in the description, and I'll put your email address is in the description, so if people are interested in lessons, they can contact you that way. Is that the best way to contact you?
That sounds good.
Okay, and again, my book, Backgammon, Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get that. And if you're interested in lessons from me, please contact me via email. My email address will be in the description. I look forward to seeing everyone in future videos. And until then, keep rolling your dice.